we want to make this testimonial section responsive. To do that, I'm going to head out to this tablet response. Right now, our section is scaled appropriately because we've already set some spaceful for when it's on tablet, all right? So I think it is fine this way. One thing we might just want to do right here is to reduce the top and bottom padding for the container, so we can make this 32, or let's just give it 20, like so. I then make this 22, and then we can reduce the left and right as well to maybe 32, and then we can give this to the 2. All right, now that is much better. Let's head on to mobile landscape, and then let's reduce it a little bit for mobile landscape as well. So let's give this 60. Top and bottom, 16 pixel. I'm going to hold down Alt keyboard of option. Make this let's give it 24. Like so. All right. And now when we head over to, let's check for the size of this text from bigger. They have this set to 18. For me to change this to one paragraph, call this paragraph of the school, get 3 pixel, I use for and it's click the 3 pixel. Like so. Now I'm there to change it to 18. I'm going to give the size to 18 pixel. Then you can reduce the height as well to say 32. Last switch it 34. And then I can reduce the gap inside of it. Let's reduce the gap to 32. Or let's make it 24. Nope. Then it goes like that. That's much better. Now on mobile portraits, it's going to look like this. We can reduce the left and right padding to 16. So let's give it 16 left and right. 16 left and right. And then we can give this, let's reduce it a little bit. Let's give it, let's remove this class and then give it paragraph of 16 paragraph, 16 pixel. Let's increase the height to say 24 pixel, like so. Then that's much better. Just duplicate this class and call this heading 16. Call this heading 16 pixel. And then delete, copy one of it. Well, let's reduce this to 16, like so. And then you can reduce this to 12. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. And then call this paragraph around. Let's call 14. Let's do it 14. And probably get too small phone. Let's give it 14. Right. So remove the bottom padding for this and remove the click to 0. Let's remove the bottom padding with this with well. Then it is 0. And then reduce this to say for the ball we can make it texture. Alright guys, that's all for this video. In the next lesson we're going to create our skills section. Hey, I'll see you goodbye. In this lesson we want to build out this section, that is the skills section. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. Your likes, your subscription helps this video get to more people. All right, so it really means a lot. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking this video. Okay, without much ado, let's build out our skills section. Right here we have the heading, and then we have 4 different cards. To build this, we're going to add a section. Then we're going to add a container, and inside of the container, we're going to add an heading, and then we're going to add a div, and then make the div a grid that is 2 by 2 column grid. And then, put in our text inside of the div and then add some styling to it. All right. It's as simple and fun as that. So without much ado, let's build it out. So right here, let me make this 1440. Okay. And then I'm going to select the body. I have the body selected. Now I'm going to drop in a section inside of the body. Like so. And then we're going to call this section. And now I'm going to add a container inside of the section. And then I'm going to call this skills container. All right. Now inside of this container, I'm going to add a heading. Select that. And now I'm going to call this heading. And then 32 pixel. Like so, because that's what we've been using for all our headings, right? So yeah, it is 32 pixel. Okay. So now that we have that, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to select the skill container and then add a div. Okay. So I had a div block, and inside of the div block, first let's call this what I offer. Yeah, so let's select this and give it some bottom margin. To do that, let's just apply some margin. Let's call this margin score 32 pixel. So now I'm going to give it margin of 32. Like so. Now let's make this a grid. All right, and then yeah, we want it 2 by 2, like so. Now the next thing I want to do now is to add a div block. And then let's call this cubes. Like that. Now inside of this, we're going to add a heading. Let's go B and spawn again. Let's put it at 3. Like that. Then let's click this. The first skill we want to add is this user research. So I'm just going to copy this. Control C. Let's paste that. And now let's give it a class. Let's select identity pixel. Like so. Now the next thing I want to do is we have some top padding of 20 at the top of this heading. Let's remove that. Oh, something is wrong. Okay, I see. We set it to 22, but I remember we changed it a mobile landscape. And because we had it changed, was it mobile landscape or mobile tab? Okay, we had it changed to mobile portrait. And because we changed it right here, it automatically changes on every other click point. So that's one lesson that we need to learn here. All right. I forgot to create a combo class for this before changing it in the mobile landscape and before changing it in the mobile portrait click point. And that is why the changes I made right here affected the rest of the click point. So what I'm going to do to fix this is to remove this. Remove this class and then give it another class for paragraph 22 pixel. Like so. And now I'm going to change this. I'm going to increase this to 23 click 4 and give it a I12 by 36 pixel, like so. And now that we have that, it's going to cascade down. The style is going to cascade down to tab length and mobile landscape, and then we can reduce it right here. But to do that, let's give it a combo class and call this mobile. And then we can now change it to say 18. This package is 18, and then we can reduce the width. And then we can reduce the width to 32. It's all like so. And now it will cascade down to this point. All right. Or we can just decide to give it a 16 pixel. And then we'll reduce this to 28. 8. Like so, or 30. Yeah, that's more better. And now, you can have it look like this. Okay, so that's it now. Okay, let's move on. Just going to take this a combo class and call this margin 0 dot pixel, just like so, and then remove it. So now that we have that, I'm going to select the skills container, and then I'm going to add the paragraph inside of that. Okay, and now let's copy the text. You need to go ahead and copy this. You just have it as the song, so I'm just copying this right now. Right in Webflow, I'm just going to plug that in safely. And now I'm going to set this to paragraph 14 pixel. Let's see if we have that. Okay, we have that already. So you need that 15 pixel. And you might want to increase the spacing, switching with 2. The next thing we want to do is check for the padding. Okay, so I'm going to give it 31 left and right, and then 40 top and bottom, right? And then I'm going to give it a white background and then give it some subtle shadow. So right here, I'm going to set this to 31. And let's give it 32. Okay, that's a multiple of 8, and then we can give this 40. Like so. Now the next thing we're going to do now is to give it some background. I'm going to give it a white background. Give it a white background. And then let's add the shadow to it. And now let's check for the axis. So for the shadow, we have the x-axis set to 0. We have the y-axis set to 4. And we have the blur set to 56 pixel. And then one thing we want to check also in the radius. So we have the corner radius set to 12. So now let's apply corner radius of 12, y-axis of 4, and blur of 56. This 4, maybe this 56. And it like so. Now we're going to give this radius of 4. I think I want to increase the height of this a little bit. What we have with Figma is set to text, so let me increase that. So it's a little, I'm just going to give it a combo class. We're going to say height. We have to say text height. Okay, click the film. And then I'm going to increase the height to 30. Okay, and let's duplicate this. Then let's duplicate that. Yes, one thing we want to also do is to check the gap. Okay, let's go ahead to check the gap. So right there we have a gap of 24, and then right here we have a gap of 24. So we have it set to 24. Okay, so we're going to apply that. But before we go, let me copy this text. And then I'm going to drop that in here. And let's apply the gap. Apply the gap of 24. Like so. Okay, let's copy the other text. We're just going to copy that. And paste it right there. And go ahead to copy the last one. And paste it. Let's make this 1440. Okay, right here the shadow looks too dark. I think we might want to reduce it a little bit. So let's check for the opacity of the color in Figma. Because we have it very subtle here, but right there is so dark. So I'm going to check the opacity for the color. We have it set to 8%. Let's go ahead and change that. I'm just going to select one card and then I'm going to change this. So 8, because it's set to 20 right now, so I'm going to make it 8. And that's much better. So exactly what we wanted. All right, guys, and that's our skills section. I hope you learned so much already. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye. Let's make the skill section responsive, right? So to do that, I'm going to select a tablet. This is how it looks currently. Tablets with one mistake, and it looks exactly with Figma. So on tablet, we have it look this way. Okay, so we have the exact start and wait. Okay, so now on mobile, we have it display as just one column, one row, and then we have this edit set to 24, and then this is set to 22. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this to 24, and then change the way it's aligned. All right, let's do that. Right there, I'm going to keep this as this, and then I'm going to head to mobile landscape. And now I'm going to select the skill box and then change the grid setting. I'm going to change the grid setting to one row and one column, like so. The next thing I want to do is remove this style, remove the heading, and then change this to heading and send this to heading 24. Okay, so that's heading 24. One thing we want to also do is to increase the margin at the bottom. So I'm going to keep this margin underscore 32 pixel. Okay, so I'm going to make this 32. We're also going to remove the top padding for that. Okay, and then if we look at it on mobile portrait, it looks like this. So let's go ahead to check for the margin. You can select one tab, and then you can see we have the margin set to 16, left and right, and top and bottom of 24. So let's apply that. So right here, I'm just going to reduce this to 16. Okay. Then I'm going to reduce this as well to 16. And then the top and bottom only now, I'm showing on my keyboard, reduce it to 24. Start at 24. And then I'll give this 24. Then if you check the fluidity, you can see how it looks on different wavelengths. Now let's get on to the review mode and preview this. Okay, so now if we scale this, you can see how it's going to look. And then when we scale it down, we can see how it looks pretty much responding. And that's it, guys. That's our skill section responsiveness. Okay, we're going to move on to the next section, which is to add some fun interaction to this skill card. I'll see you there. In the last lesson, we made this section, which is the skill section, we made it responsive. Now we want to add some cool animation to it. So when you hover on it, we want it to interact. We want it to move in a certain way. All right. So to do that, I'm going to select the skill card just like this. And then I'm going to head over to interaction tab. Right here, we have two different types of interactions. As you can see, we have the element trigger. That is, elements are your card, like we've selected the skill card right here, or the text, or whatever elements, images, and whatever elements that is contained in the page. All right. And then we have page trigger. That is the entire page. But right now we want to create an element trigger. So I'm going to select this plus. And then we want to select mouse over. All right. So right here we have two different actions. Okay. We have on hover, that is when you hover on it. And then we have on over out, that is when your cursor leaves the element that's on hover out. And then we're going to create actions for on over, and then we're going to create another action for on hover out, right? Now I'm going to select this. Right here you can see we have a lot of different actions. We have actions under appear and disappear, actions under emphasis, and a lot of them. But in our case, we want to create it from scratch. So I'll click start an animation, and now I'm going to click this plus icon. And next thing is I'm going to give our animation a name. So in this case, I'm going to call it Kills on Hover. Kills on Hover. And right there, I'm going to click plus to add an action. Now, what we want to do is we want it to scale down a little bit from its initial size. Okay, so right now, this is its size. We want it to scale. So I'm going to set it to scale. And right now, I'm going to set the properties for it. Okay, so right here, we have it as 1. The initial state is 1. But what we want to do is we want it to scale 0.96. So we want it to scale 0.96 smaller than its initial size. Okay, and then we want to set the ease in to ease out quad, like so. And then we'll keep the duration as 0.5. That's fine. That's it for our card. We can play this to see how it's going to look. You can see that. All right, that's it. So I'm going to save. I'm going to save this right now. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead to create an hover out. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to click start an animation. And right here, I'm going to select this. I'm going to duplicate this. All right. And then I'm going to select this because we already have it created. Just going to change the settings right there. So I'm going to change this to on hover out, skills on hover out. Like so. I'm going to change it back. I'm going to return the initial state to 1. All right. Next thing is I'm going to save this. Head back to style. Now let's preview that. Okay. You can see that it works just fine, right? But it's not affecting this. That's because we've not done one more thing, which is to ensure that that particular interaction affects the class. Okay, because at the moment it's affecting just this element. Now we'll go ahead and change it to affect the class, so that every other card can have access to that. So right here on the trigger settings, I'm going to select class, and then yes, skills. We want it set to affect all class named skills. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead to preview this again. And now when I hover on the rest of the cards, I can now interact with them as well. So on hover, we have it scaled down, and then hover out returns back to its initial state. All right, guys, that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to build the About Me section. I'll see you there, guys. Bye. In this lesson, we will build the About Me section. So let's see how this is going to be structured in Webflow. First, we're going to add a section, and then we'll go ahead to add a container. Then inside the container, we will add an heading, and then a paragraph, and then we'll add a button. This is going to be simple and quick, so let's jump right into Flow and build this out. First thing I want to do is select the body. And now inside of the body, I'm going to add a section. Select the star. And now I'm going to give this class section. Inside of that, I'm going to add a container. Now I'm going to call this About Me container. And let's just call it About Container. Let's just call it About Container. Right, so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a heading inside of this country here, and I'm going to type in heading, then 1, and then 2, like so. And I'm going to give this class heading 32, like that. So now I'm going to call this About Me. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to select the container right here, I'm going to add a paragraph. I'm going to add a paragraph. Let's check about the font size and copy the text. Okay, this is set to 24. So let's give it paragraph 24. Oops, there's something wrong with my internet. Let's not worry about this. Let's just carry on. So I'm going to drop that in here. Now I'm going to give this paragraph 24. You do not have paragraph 24. Let's try paragraph 22. I think this should be fine. There's a fixed width for this text. So let's go ahead to check that. Right here we have a width of 854. So let's apply that. I'm going to go ahead and give this 854 pixel width. To be honest, this is really disturbing. I need to find a solution to that. So, but first, let me give this 854. Like so. I'll be right back, guys. Let me fix my connection issue. All right. So we give this a fixed height of 854 pixel. Next, let's check the gap between these two elements. That's 40. So right here, I'm going to give this a bottom margin of 40. We have a margin bottom of 40, so I'm just going to apply that. Cool. Now, the next thing I want to do right now is to create the button. But before we do that, let's put this inside of a div because we have our button and this text inside of the container. Let's put this inside of a div so that our button too can be inside of the div. Ideally, we might actually leave it that way without even putting a div around it. But the reason why I want to put it inside of a div is because we're going to reuse it right here. All right, so let's just go ahead and put that inside of a div. Now I'm just going to select this and wrap it inside the div. Right click and then wrap it inside the div. Okay, and then now let's call this normal box. All right. We're not applying any settings to it. I'm going to be using it in a different section soon. Next, let's create the button that says that link that says Learn More. To do this, I'm going to select this normal box. Okay, we have it selected. And then I'm going to add a name Figma. Let's call this Learn More. Like so that. And then I'm going to add a text box. Okay. Now let's call this Learn More. I click on the biggest paragraph. It's in. I'm not going to score 18 pixels. And so I'm just going to go ahead and give it the 18 pixel. Then change the color to initially move the decoration. Okay. Well, it's still pulled to decoration. That's because it's getting that line from this line only. Okay, because we put in the text inside of link below. So ideally, it's going to adapt. It's going to take up the styling of that link below. All right. So let's go ahead to click that and then remove the style. Now let's give it a color of primary. Well, let's give it a gray one, like so. And then we can increase the font rate to say medium, like that. Let's make this 14 and see how it's going. All right. Now the next thing we want to do is add our arrow. To do that, I'm going to select the Learn More link. And then inside of that, I'm going to add the arrows. I'm going to just drag it inside of the Learn More link, like so. Now we have it set to 20 by 20, which is okay. We're going to go ahead and make that display inline flex, so it's aligned side by side. I'm going to give it some gap of, let's check for the gap in Figma. We have a gap of 12, so I'm going to go ahead to apply that. Set this to 12. The next thing I want to do is give it some spacing between these two elements. Okay, so I'm going to click right here and then apply some spacing between them. So let's check. We have a spacing gap of 20. So let's apply that. Click on the Learn More button and then give it a margin of 20. So, like so. And that's it, guys. We have just created the About Me section. That'll be all for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll be to make this section responsive. I'll see you there. Bye. All right, guys, let's make the About Me section responsive. To do that, I'll head on to Tablet. Like so, and as you can see, this is scaling out of the viewport. Why? Because we gave it a fixed height, and that's why it's displaying in such manner. So to rectify that, I'm going to check the width size in Figma. Let's check for that. Okay, so right there, I'm just going to click this map. And then you can see we have it set to 770. Although we can decide to just share and change this back to your photo. And then it is set to this, or we can decide to just give it 770 pixel. And then it displays this way. All right, so let's just give it auto. So from tablet breakpoint downward, it is set to auto, but right on desktop, it is set to 854 pixel. But on tablet breakpoint, it is set to auto. All right. Now we have the section already set. So let's go to mobile landscape. Right. That's okay. Let's check for the spacing and then the size of the font in mobile. Okay, it's set to 24. And this is set to 24. So let's change this to 24. So I'm going to reduce this to 24. It was basically like that. And then give it heading 24. And then margin 32. And one thing I noticed is the color. So I'm going to change the color because we want to use a primary color. So I'll change that back to primary color, and that's affect the other heading. Okay, now that we have fonts, let's add about to mobile portrait, and right there we have our buttons. Let's see the size for this button in Figma. It's set to 20, so we can just leave it at 18. Or I'll rather just reduce it to 16. So we do not have a 16. So I'm just going to create a 16. All right, then I'm just going to change this to 16. And that makes better. And that's about it, guys, for our responsiveness. It's this way, and on tablet, it's this way, and on desktop view, it looks just this way. Let's make this button quickly and see how it's spinning it. All right, once it clears, we created the About Me section, and we've made it responsive. In the next lesson, we're going to apply some cool animation to the Learn More button. I'll see you there. Bye. In this lesson, we want to build out a cool and fun interaction for this Learn More button, such that when you hover on it, you have like a line slide out, and then when you hover out, the line goes back, right? So let's do that. To do that, I'm going to put these two elements inside of a div. So I'm going to select this Learn More text, and then I'm going to click. I'm going to right click and then wrap it inside the div. Then I'm going to call this Learn More box. We'll just call it Learn More. And then inside of the Learn More box, I'm going to put in the arrow as well. All right, so we have these two inside of a div called Learn More box. Now I'm going to select the Learn More link block, and then I'm going to put in another div. Oh, it's set to block now. So let's change that to inline flex. Then I'm going to give it a gap of 12. And so now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to select this Learn More link block. Then I'm going to put in another div. So I'm going to say Control V and then put in another div inside of that, because this is what we're going to use to create a line that is going to be sliding in and out. All right, so I'm going to select the linear, then I'm going to change the direction to vertical. Now I'm going to select this div block and then give it a class of underline. Or let's just call it 9, like so. And then I'm going to change the color. Let's give it a color of gray. We'll set the width to 0. And then we'll give it a height of 1. Now that we have our line set, I'm just going to select the Learn More link. And then I'm going to align the flex box to align left. Now that we have that set, let's go ahead to add an interaction. To do that, I'm going to select the interaction tab. And right here, I'm going to select Add Trigger. I'm going to click mouse over. So on mouse over, I want to select an animation. I want to select an action. And then I want to start an animation. Now I'm going to name an animation Learn More over link, like so. Now let's click to add an action. This time around, we want to add the size because we want the line to move from 0% width to 100% width. Okay, so I'm going to click size, and then right here, I'm going to change target. Let's change the target because we want to target the line. All right, so we cannot see the line right here. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead to the navigator and then find the line right here. And now that I have that selected, we want to make action to affect just the line. All right. So now that we have that selected, we want the line to go from 0% to 100%, like so. We want to give it a height of 1. And then we want to give it a duration of 0.2. I think that should be fine. And we'll give it a ease in or ease out code. And then we want to 0 delay, right? So for overhang, this is what we want. We want it to, we want the width to go from 0 to 100%, height of 1, duration to 0.2. And then is in quad. Okay, so go ahead to save that. Or let's close. Let's click this and play to see how it's going to look. Right, guys. See, that's how it's going to look. So let's save this. And now let's go ahead to add on hover out. So on hover out, we need to select an action, start animation, and I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to duplicate this. All right, we'll then select the second one and then click inside of it. Now let's change the title and call this Learn More Without, like so. And now select the line and then, take it back to 0, both like so. And that's all we want to do. All right, so I'm going to save this and then, okay. Let's rename that. I think it's not named properly. So I'm going to make this when we next I. All right, and save that again. Okay, so now if we interact with that, so cool, right? Nice. So now that we have that, let's look at that and tablet breakpoints. So you're going to work on mobile landscape. We might decide to remove this on mobile landscape because on mobile devices, you're not overing. So we do not need this over effect on mobile. So to remove over effect from mobile, remove over effect on mobile devices, we just add on to interaction and then select this. Scroll down and then check this out. Okay, so we do not want the trigger to play on phone landscape and phone portraits. We only want it to display on desktop and tablet. All right, and that's going to affect the interaction. So when we go over to mobile landscape now and the preview, we're going to see that that will not work. Okay, it's just going to be a link. All right. So yeah, that's it. Now that we have that said, one thing I want to do is sort of, if we preview it again and, you can see that the space between the learn more and the line is a little bit thin much. So I want to reduce the spacing. That is the gap between these two elements. So I'll go ahead to the star, select the learn more, and then reduce the gap from 12 to say 6. Right? And now when we go ahead to replay that, we can see that it is now much closer to each other and it is better this way, right? So that's it, guys. We just added a cool interaction to the learn button. In the next lesson, we're going to build out the recent writing section. I'll see you there.